Welcome back to the WODprep podcast. I'm your host, CJ DePalma, with the better host, Claire Bays, and the guest and man of the hour, Mr. Legends himself, Joe Linton. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. How are you today?
Good. Just finished up my workout. I'm happy to get that in. Busy time of year, but
yeah, every time that we get on a call, you're in the same spot. I've never had a call with you not in this gym ever, except in person, which is already surprising enough. And you always are just finishing a workout. And you have how many kids?
Two,
and
two.
You run a large CrossFit competition. Well, a few of them at this point. And you just recently stopped like your other job, right? Or are you still working the other job?
No. Affiliate owner, that's done. Been done for a few years now. But I was an affiliate owner for 3 years, which is why I have the gym that I have in my garage. I got to kind of keep one of everything to take home with me. And at this point during the day, I need to work out for my sanity, so I'll find time to do anything.
What'd you do?
Back squat, built up to a heavy set of 5. Then I did 5 rounds of, reading it on my little board, 20 cal bike on the C2, 15 thrusters at 95, then 15 box jumps. And I allowed myself to rebound. Sorry.
Get after it.
And then I rested 1 minute.
Support you.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beatdown. That's not like I just went in and like rode the bike for a little bit. Anything with thrusters, box jumps, and bike means you were like, all right, we're gonna get after it right now.
The higher my stress in a day or workload,
the harder the workout.
Reset my mind. So
yeah, that's crazy. I feel like that's wild. I did a tough one yesterday for the first time in a while. I was like, let me just write something. It was a chipper. It was three movements, but it was a chipper style. 300 double unders, 75 GHD, and 25 clean and jerks at 155. It was a good one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a really good.
Do that in reverse and see how the double unders go.
Yeah, I know. That sounds terrible. I think double unders would go fine. That's my jam.
Yeah, that's your bread and butter.
It's my bread and butter for sure.
Yeah.
So it's November, and you've thanks for taking some time. I'm super excited to have you on. There's a lot of gossip and talk in the space, and just noise and exciting times, like and just all the things. And
always this time of year. There's always
I disagree. That's a total lie. It's always in January because we don't know shit
at this time of year. So once we know something.
Yeah, we never know anything in November. So this is great chatter. There we go. CrossFit's always my thesaurus.
Well, I want to start with how tuned in are you? Because CJ and I we're rather we're obnoxiously tuned in, right? But are you, with all of the chatter that we're referring to, do you pay close attention?
No, probably not nearly as much as you guys.
Yeah. I love that for you.
There's certain things I'll pay attention to, but not nearly as much. I'll get questions asked from staff that I'm like, no, that's not even close.
And it's something that came from the internet.
You're right. And then some guests out there, I'm like, wow, that's news to me. As far as I know, that'd be a no on certain things. But so I pay attention to as much as I can when I have the time. But other than that, probably not nearly as much as you guys get.
You could just do a 5-minute weekly debrief with CJ, and he'd just give you everything you need to know.
For sure.
Just like a download, just plug it in and let me know what's up. That'd be great.
Yeah, if there's only a show that was 20 minutes long a couple times a week. Hashtag Jenny. I know she's watching.
I was like, that's definitely dense. That's yeah.
So games was awesome. We had a great time, but we haven't debriefed about it together. And so I definitely want your 2-month follow-up from the 2025 games. Where are you guys at? How do you feel about it? What do you feel went well? Where are you guys mentally with all the things and all the things for next year? We don't have to talk next year yet. Let's just get your thoughts of how it went, because we haven't talked about it. We talked about it that night, right? Immediately. And it's hard to process in the moment. So let's continue that conversation.
Yeah. So overall, successful event and improvement from Birmingham. As far as, athlete survey feedback, we went up in the stars, from 3 stars to 4 or whatever it was. Where there's we have the details somewhere, but we did improve. More positive feedback versus, negative or constructive. From an event on site like spectator experience, I think we had some massive improvements with, you guys were a huge part of that with the spectator workout experience and just being present yourselves, along with the other, sponsors and vendors. Venue setup and expansion of the, seating was great than, what we provided at Birmingham, but can even, like we saw, can be better. Mm-hmm. If you step into, we're trying to cover like all the different stakeholders that are out there, right? So if you step into, or keep it at vendors and sponsors, one thing that I've found is that I want to gather feedback before the event, before I finalize setup of sponsor or vendor village, to get their feedback on what they think of the flow and what they think of the setup. Because I get that feedback from a lot of vendors is like, oh, you should be doing it this way. And so there's a few people that have worked with me for a few years. So going forward, I'll be kind of getting their feedback just on the setup and to make sure that they're heard and that they want to keep coming back. To step into the athletes and coaches, we definitely could do a better, more efficient warm-up space for one, and, keep it cleaned up and just easier to access and have more space for them without having like 4 separate, warm-up areas. We could have done with 2 bigger ones. On the floor, I think it went really well on the floor. We do want to be able to provide, larger fields of play, but that just gets complicated with the number of floors and space.
You mean lanes?
Lanes. Yeah. Length, not more lanes, that becomes difficult with acquiring the number of judges that are needed.
Not more lanes, longer lanes.
Longer lanes, not more lanes.
Okay, correct.
Got it. When you start going to 20, then all of a sudden you need 60 judges if you're running multiple floors, and it just becomes crazy. So
it's bananas. We do it certain places. It gets crazy.
So then the athletes, the programming, we could do more efficient programming with certain movements. Like I don't regret programming certain things, but there are improvements that can be made with testing and also, using the movements that kind of are better for competition. And I think some that shouldn't be used in competition. So, the one that pops out to me is the kettlebell clean. Mm-hmm. It was a great idea. It was convenient for the equipment and stuff we had on the floor, but the standards and, way it was tested was definitely something that, I don't think it was needed, but I'm still, don't really regret doing it, but it's definitely something that more than likely I probably wouldn't do again, unless it's held to a different standard. And that would take a lot of testing and, conversing with other programmers that get their thoughts on it. We could do a lot better things with the city, city involvement, local businesses, local gyms. We could reach out a lot more. It just becomes a point of like, what our bandwidth is and how do we incorporate more people into the staff or volunteer pool that can take that on, and that does take time with a limited budget, because you can't just throw all the money around in the world and hire everyone. So kind of those are the big ones that stand out right now.
Yeah. What kind of involvement did you have this last year with the local community there? Like if that's somewhere that you see as a obvious area for growth, what did you guys like? You just have my mind spinning now with ways to connect more with them.
Yeah. with local gyms setting up, special workouts. I had this really cool idea and, anyone could steal it. I still think it's cool. I'll probably try to use it at Del Mar. It's not even close enough for Legends December to pull it off, but setting up to where local establishments, especially I think a restaurant, can buy a select item with their logo on it and an event logo on it. And for every ticket holder, basically, if you go dine there, then you get that small item. But it's kind of, I know that people like to collect stuff. They like to, get a discount at a restaurant. They're going to be going out there anyway, but it's just a cool way to get the restaurant involved in the local establishments and their advertisement. Because if you can get that ball rolling, then the city is more likely the following year to want you to come back. They start getting their businesses, they start getting all of those people that are within their, city lines happy and sending emails, then they're going to be happy. So that's just one thing that, I kind of kicked off, couldn't finish up, couldn't button up in time. And it just got kind of lost in the mix. And it's one of the things on my list that I want to, get ahead of early to be able to make a bigger impact on the city, so that the following year they want us to come back and they give us a better deal.
Yeah.
Talking a lot of next year. Does that mean going back to Columbus?
Yeah, that's like anywhere, but that's like if we can stay in a place for 2 years, which is difficult for us, except Tempe right now.
Right. Sure.
We'll see.
That was a great, great catch. Good job. Claire, you're about to say something.
Well, Columbus was it was a beautiful venue for it. And I think like there were just so many details about the venue, the location of it being so convenient with everything that was surrounding it, that was really enjoyable to take off and go down that street, or then inside the venue, of course, like having access to foods that health conscious people would like access to, like that was amazing, and a lot of times you don't get that in venues. And so that was really, really cool.
Birmingham.
Yeah. You're just not going to get it in a lot of places, but that was obviously like knowing what else that venue is used for, then that makes sense. But that was a huge perk from just someone who was there. But then definitely, as you're saying, with like connections deeper with the local community, assuming that you want to return back there. I don't know. Now my brain is spinning with ways to enlist help from others who are local.
There's a DraftKings bar like right down the road. I feel like that's the perfect spot. Just like drape age group games all over it, and then convince Tyler to come out with Heat One.
I was gonna say get Heat One involved.
Yeah, for sure. And then we just do, I don't know, somehow that's it. That's like the Madison combo for whatever that bar with the red door.
Well, and they're just the local affiliates being able to like because they're actually local, and so being able to be helpful to the cause, like they're there, boots on the ground. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So you said something interesting and something that we've talked about publicly about Bob and you, of like working with other programmers and something. Is that something that you're like looking to make an adjustment to, kind of maybe based on the feedback from the last couple of years of like investors and reaching out to others?
Yeah, and I think there's a good way to do it without exactly like giving you the exact workout. It's like, hey, go try this workout. I mean, I do it with a couple of gyms now here. I'm like, hey, try this workout. And it's not the workout that's going to be programmed. There's 2 elements maybe in there that is going to be what's used in a championship workout. And even I'm already doing, semifinals workouts with this, but it's not the exact workout. Right. And I've, purposely done that to change it, but it's like maybe a similar stimulus. And then you're going into, whatever it may be, let's just ring muscle up, and it's like, cool. Like what happened at that point? Did you fall apart? Were you able to execute it? And like with that, you can still get a good gauge on the workout that you have programmed, but again, it's not the exact one. And it's a way to get, similar feedback. So I got a couple people already giving me some good feedback on, movements that I want to potentially use in the future in certain positions of a workout. So that's one easy way that I've, figured out, is a way to incorporate feedback from other programmers, gyms, coaches that I'm going to continue to use as much as possible.
Got it. And so I was under the impression that it was kind of like logistics and everything else was you, and then Bob was pretty much the programming. Do you have a big hand in the programming too? I don't think I realized that. Like as
not as much last year. I had eyes on it, but I was so pulled out from it that it was kind of like I'd have time to look at a workout, and Brock and Bob talked a lot. Brock and Boz talked a lot. I'm sorry, Bob and Brock talked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Bob and Brock, and then Bob and Boz.
Yeah, there we go.
So a lot of conversation there. I would kind of get plugged in, and at that point, it was tough. I'm like, it looks good, and so I just didn't see the stream of consciousness or chain of text that was shared. So it was tough. Definitely going forward, we're going to be able to restructure kind of how we operate next year, and I'll be kind of back with him, alongside him, so that it's like previous years do we have conversations daily on programming and ideas and whatnot, and it just took a year of establishing a process of how we need to operate, and also where we need to start from to start building up certain team members to take care of a lot of operational or logistic needs, outside the competition floor. So,
right. Yeah. I felt that when we were there, like no matter what question I had and I tried to find someone else, like it always reverted back to you. And I was like, man, this guy needs to be able to, someone else needs to be able to give me an answer. If like some of them weren't even like important questions, they're like, oh, that's a joke question. And I was like, someone else has got to be able to give me this answer. Yeah. Like I felt terrible coming to ask you for everything. And so you're making, I guess, adjustments and maybe growing the team, I suppose, to
basically, elevating some staff members into bigger, responsibility roles, and they want it, and even volunteers want it. So, there's a lot of professionals out there that have that skill set. They're either a program manager or have run businesses or leaders in whatever they do. And so they're good at it and understand, what that role is required to do. So we're going to have a good setup next year.
Cool. I love it.
Well, and from the programming perspective, like this, at least at the game, at the age group games, like you had the 14, 15, 16, 17. Anyway, you had the teens, and then you had all the way up into the 70 plus from the 35, which some of those 35 to 39s could have been individual games athletes potentially had they made a push for it. Right. So like the breadth of like who you had to program for was pretty massive. And so I guess saying that then, knowing who you're qualifying out of Del Mar to elite men, to elite women, plus the age groups, saying what I just said about some of those 35 to 39s that like are, right on the cusp of still could compete at some level as an individual, then maybe it's not as challenging as I'm thinking it is. Also then incorporating more to program for, because it's not really more, I guess, after all.
It's not really more, but it is like,
I mean, it is. Yes, it is. I know.
Big responsibility to, this is a qualifier to go to the games, and it's important. And so for the majority of the people competing, they won't be at the games. Yeah. Like this is their games. And we want to program workouts that they walk away from feeling tested, but not humiliated.
Yeah, sure. Right?
But it does need to be, there will be tough workouts, especially when you get into masters and you start getting to, let's just call it 50 plus right now. You're going to see, you got to earn your higher end gymnastics. We don't want most of the field walking up to, just keep ring muscle up, walking up to the rings and staring at those rings for 12 minutes. It's like making sure that we program efficiently so that we can still find the same people that would win that workout if there's a ring muscle up from rep 1 to maybe it's later in the workout type thing. So and then with the elite individuals, that's really exciting. I can tell you, like my wife is getting slightly sick of it now, but I've been watching basically Del Mar regional workouts for the past.
As you should, 100%. We're going to get into it. There is no reason why there shouldn't be an homage to like what is the hands down the greatest regional venue and time in our space, but just as if I have an opinion on anything, just
That's also replicating the setup as much as we can, because we do have more athletes to get through, and it's
right. It's different.
It's a little bit different, but it's an awesome big arena space that we have to work with, and I do want it. What have I been using? I want the programming to be like historic and a little iconic, really. So I do want to take workouts, and I'm always a fan of like, hey, in 2012 the games athletes did this workout and this was their times. Now in 2018 they got faster times using a barbell that is almost twice as heavy type thing.
Right.
So I do want to make some workouts much harder and see how much faster or close to the same times that they can get as those regional athletes back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I think there's, you mentioned, and I think this will be the biggest challenge to overcome is it's very likely that the 3 of the top 5 male athletes in our sport are going to be at this thing with James, Dallin, and Justin are all most likely going to come. And writing, and I said this on my show yesterday, the programming has never mattered more in CrossFit than it does right now on the male side, because programming will determine the top 5 in every event. Like there's no outliers anymore in any capacity whatsoever, right? And so like if 4 perennial athletes are there, right, like programming matters the most, and it's always mattered, but people and are like, oh well, the fittest won, and it's like that is 100% not the case anymore. Like at least on the male side, Tia will win, doesn't matter, but it doesn't mean the programming shouldn't be good. It should always be good, but even more so, like to write a program that is appropriate for elites and be able to take some sort of skeleton or like exoskeleton of that and drive it into a 70-year-old is going to be super challenging. And so I'm excited to see what comes on, but that does roll into like the next thing. You don't listen to the chatter, but the chatter is strong. And it's a question that I have to ask. If I had you on and didn't ask it, it would be Hiller made a video, super upset, right? I know you guys have, he's had a lot of beef with your programming in the past. And so, it is important, right? And I know that it is. And I think everyone always assumes that it is. And the chatter is that they don't think that you guys should have it. And while I heavily disagree, I want to hear your thoughts on, just that in general, like how did you get it? It's probably like a good one. And why does Legends get a semifinal?
Why does Legends get it? And why does Legends want it? They're like, both.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that you do. And I want to know why.
Yeah. Why did we get it? Programming isn't perfect. We do accept feedback and we do want to get better.
Oh no, we lost you. Hold on.
No. I wondered if that was mine.
No. Oh no. All right.
Come back, Joe.
You're back.
There?
Yeah,
Got
you're back.
Okay. Why did we get it? We do want it. We do accept feedback. We will be getting better every chance we get. And the criticism is always there. And we're still around. It's been 9 years going on 10. We're gladly accepting more responsibility, more opportunities to put ourselves out there. And I think that, with continuous effort to strive to be better, that's what you'll see. Why do we want it? Why do we want the individuals especially?
Yeah.
I think that it will be fantastic for the athlete experience across the board. Masters the masters, especially the masters that were at Madison or prior, working out or warming up alongside the pros is something that a lot of the feedback from the masters community, that games athletes back in the Madison days and prior, they liked that. And so at these semifinal events that have both the pro and the masters, you're going to be able to get that. You're going to be down here at Del Mar warming up, walking around alongside, sharing the same floor as, James, Dallin, and Justin. hopefully. So I think it's great for athlete experience. I think it's great for the city of San Diego to bring back a big CrossFit competition to, you know, Southern California. It was a fantastic one back in the day, and one that I went to, and just everyone looked forward to going. And I think that it's going to be well attended. We will definitely be well executed. And so yeah, we want to get better and we want more responsibility. So keep the feedback coming. Make your videos. That's great. I think that's, whatever you think is good for the space, keep at it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, I know while we were at the age group games, another conversation that we had, of course, was with Ben from NorCal, and basically the same conversation for different reasons for their competition, whereas the Hiller narrative comes at you for the programming, and then for them, it's the logistics and things like that. Right. And then there are always beautiful points of like, then each one also has the things they do exceptionally well. But being able to, like, to me, that's like a template for like, boom, okay, here's what we clearly need to focus on, like, thanks for doing our homework in a way, seriously. I don't know. I guess I will always flip it to be positive, but yeah.
Yeah. I think that I don't have a problem with the videos or the chatter, especially the negative, because whether you like them or you don't, I think that they truly feel like they're making a positive effort or a great effort to make a positive influence on the space. So if you want raw feedback on something, then give it to one of those guys. They're not going to hold back. They're not going to, pat you on the back and say, good job, like your mom does after you maybe did terrible in a baseball game. I don't know.
That's a great analogy. So is, how do you, so when doing a semifinal, I know how do you plan on getting testers now, right? Or other programmers, like, who do you reach out to, right? Because now it's, the highest level athletes, right? Like, it's not a master's, it's not Scott Panchik, right? That just decides to not do anything anymore. Or, or Rich, right? Like, I don't even know if Rich is good enough definitively to be a good tester at this point. You know what I mean? It's like where's the strategy come with that? And like, who do you reach out to? You don't have to tell me. I just want to see.
I mean, people that we have worked with prior, we worked, obviously we're working with Boulder and Jason Grubb. I know some great athletes in, local affiliates down here in San Diego. Another thought was, like, if I'm sending out these workouts to select people and they're not gonna be the exact workout that is used, then, why not weekly post a workout on our social and say, hey, try this workout out, comment your times. So that it's not necessarily like there's this, small group of people that only gets it, that it's cool, that it's public. Now that small group is going to obviously be giving me more thorough feedback and more, probably professional feedback, but it does kind of, give it all, keep the playing field level.
So then people from all different like demographics would then be, I mean, how would you, because you'd have to know like their ages and stuff like that too. So if they were to go in and comment and be like, hey, we also need that information.
Comment your age, comment your age plus your time. And I could be like, cool. We had, a bunch of people, well, hopefully they're truthful, but, it's my experience even on, Sugar WOD, there's a lot of people that don't report their exact times and whatnot, but I think that you still get some good feedback and, you can get some good gauge on what the outcome of workout would be. But then you do have to have a small group of extremely trusted individuals to view the whole story of the programming, because workout to workout, just individually, and you put it together, it may not be the best combo. So
yeah. Well, and you have your last one that you just, so we just did a rogue recap, right? Just like everybody else. And CJ pointed out there were at least a couple of workouts that a couple of the movements in the workouts could have been removed and it would have made no difference in the workout, right? And you even hear athletes talk about that like they did a number of different things in the workout, but this particular part of it made no meaningful impact on any of the rest of it, or it was just kind of okay, just get through that. And so I mean, I don't know, you have the like you have the most recent event and then you have the upcoming event, and that also is all data points, that kind of feedback is helpful, is super helpful, I would think. I'm stepping outside of my realm. I've never tried to program a competition, but
it definitely is helpful. And if you ignore or don't look back at what you did, then it's going to be tough to get better, So it's definitely looking back at what you did, what worked well, why did it work well, and if you don't take that to account, then, you're definitely not going to be improving upon your what your product is. So we definitely look back and what we've done, and we're going to, lean into it and try to be even better than improve even more than we've done in the past. And I think that's next year is going to show that.
Is there any plans to reach out to any, like we keep kind of coming to like athletes and testing and things like that, but even before that, it comes down to the programmer. And you said there's like a small group. Is there anyone specific you're looking at? I don't think, someone like Jason, that's probably, I don't know, is not to say Boulder's not there, but like, he's 50, he's not 27. And he also doesn't write the program. Like someone else writes Boulder, whatever the company is that he works with. And, like, is there a programmer, basically the chat will want me to ask, like, are you going to consider asking someone like JR or like another program, like a facilitator, like Ben, Alderman or Blair or anyone like that to kind of help? Because, I'm fully invested in positive that you guys can pull it off, but it is substantially different to program for games athletes and versus even the highest level masters athletes, right? And I'm not going to, and I don't want to devalue the masters community and say it's not as important, but there's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line at this point, right? So like for those people to get there, and there's never, it's serious. This is like, it sounds terrible, right? It's like mansplaining masters versus individuals. It's not as important for the masters. It's so much more important for the individuals, in my opinion, just because of how much money is on the line and professionalizing this, and like the fact that, this is like their full livelihood, and there's 0% of masters that are doing this full time as an athlete. You know what I mean? And so I just think the stakes are raised, and, I want it to be very successful. So Hiller can eat his fucking words is my goal. Like, that's what I want,
Your cross battle review it.
And so,
of course,
like the goal, right? I want Del Mar to be the best semifinal, and because I love you guys, and I've worked with you, and I want it to just go against like what the grain is assuming might happen just based on the last couple of years of games programming.
Yeah. And it is going to be great to prove them wrong, or to use their feedback for a positive and make a huge improvement, and see what they say next year, on April 27th, when we're all wrapped up and done. Absolutely, yes, going to be reaching out to other programmers, guys that have helped other semifinals or programmed for other semifinals, after continuing some detailed research on the programming that they have done for competitions, and seeing, even going into looking up the feedback that was given for that programming year, and at those comps. I don't want to just go to them and with nothing, and just like, hey, help me program it. I want to go with like, hey, here's what I'm thinking, and that does take some time on my own, research, program, do a little testing, think it through, then go to them with something that you can build upon, rather than start from scratch, because I think that'd be a waste of their time, my time, a disservice to what the improvements that we're trying to make for April and beyond. But absolutely would highly entertain talking to any one of those individuals.
Cool.
Hey, poke holes in it. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen for sure. If I can help in any way, as we've chatted offline a lot. And so I definitely think, I think you guys are uniquely positioned with the history of CrossFit and this, like, even like a secondary, like, weight of like, this is it. Like, this was the hate. This was back in the day, right? Where if back in the day had a face, it's Del Mar, you know what I mean? And CrossFit. And so, like, you know, there's a lot of people that are really, really good in this space and that can keep their fucking mouth shut. And so that's a real thing. It's super important.
I don't disagree.
It's super important, right?
Yes,
like,
it is.
Super important.
Yeah.
And it can only be better, right? I think there's one huge downfall of Dave, and it's the fact that he doesn't reach out more. Because I think, like, to other people in the space, and it doesn't need to be the case anymore. You know what I mean? There's so many good programmers and people that are, like, really have a good finger on it. And again, I'm not saying you guys can't do it. I just want to keep hammering in there that, like, it's possible to do without spoiling the surprise, right? And the unknown and unknowable, you know?
Yeah. Who would be, 3 people that you would suggest? It doesn't have to be like top 3 and you're not ranking them, but off the top of your head.
Yeah. I mean, I think Blair creates a lot of flair and fun, and uniqueness. I think JR has the best pulse. JR Howell has the best pulse on the athletes and what they're capable of in the entire space. And so I think the biggest thing that you have to figure out and find is people that aren't associated with a camp, right? Just because it's just an easy way to avoid problems, right? Because I would say, someone like Jesse, but, like, you can't, like, I think Jesse's a great program designer, but he's Justin's coach, right? Like, no, can't do that. You know what I mean? And so,
Adam.
And so, or anyone at Mayhem. Well, Angelo, who's been programming those things, Angelo is now coaching Austin and Paige. And so, like, he can't be, you know what I mean? And so, like, there's going to be challenges, and those are the biggest challenges. But I think there's a lot of good minds in the space, and it's hard, right? Like, it's got to be someone who's not associated with a big camp with current games athletes there. So
then what's your take on Mayhem hosting a semifinal?
I mean, I struggle with it, right? It seems so, like,
does, like, other people struggle? Do these other camps or coaches struggle with that? Like,
I mean, if they don't say they do, I think Mayhem is, the people who do program it don't program for the stuff, right? Like, it's Rich is not involved in the template programming or working one-on-one or anything like that. And they've talked about it a lot, of, like, who is working on it specifically does not write for the template, and the people that do the template and coach one-on-one are not involved in it. And so I think, with as much as they can, they do their best to have that separation, right, and trust. And I think I don't think that they would ever lie about that. And so, did any Mayhem athletes qualify to Mayhem? That's a good 2, and it was just Austin, and then Colton qualified, and Fee and Abby, and none of those are Mayhem athletes. It's a conflict of interest 100%, but I think with how big their influence is in the space, it's good for them to have a semifinal in general, right? Just because I think they give off so much aura into our space and good vibes, and it's a good relationship for CrossFit to have. But it's a conflict of interest. No matter how trustworthy they are, it is a conflict, because it doesn't, it just is, even if they keep their mouth shut the whole time. So
I think in the hierarchy of importance, I think what's even more important is someone who is like, I think we have enough people around now that have been around for a while that have shown that they have integrity, and so like being able to be like, think of those that do have that integrity, to keep it to themselves, whatever, that they know how to program for those athletes. Like I think that in the hierarchy of importance of if you're going to bring anybody into the fold, it's like even more than an affiliation with a camp in some form or fashion. I'm not saying that has no place. I'm not saying it's not a conflict to some degree, but I find it to be of lesser importance than just simply involving individuals that really understand the capacities of those athletes, and how to push them appropriately. And we do have a lot of those people. And then I think even, I know CJ thinks a lot about program design and stuff like that, but even I think, man, I don't know. I've just had the opportunity to be a part of so many events. And so from the back side, like the logistics side of things, gotten to see so many, the ways that things are run in so many different ways. So now I'm pulling it to a different thing. And I don't know that we want to take away from this topic necessarily, but those are all such, my brain is like swirling with all of this year, having been exposed to so many events. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if we could really, I don't know, just certain people do it at such a high level that I'm like, everyone else in the space also needs access to however it is that you're going about getting this to be this smooth on day of, because so many are, just hairs on fire, and so not doing that. So anyway, I'm pulling it away from the programming, but I will say on the programming part, I think it's most important that you simply just get people who actually understand the capacities of the athletes. And I think there are plenty of them who have shown that they care enough about, integrity is kind of a part of this ecosystem, and so I'm not saying that everyone has it, but I'm saying it's more likely to exist here. And anyway, we've seen a lot that do seem to. So anyway, yeah.
Agreed. She's so much more well-spoken than I am.
I don't know about that at all. I just meander around some ideas. Who knows?
No, I love it. Feedback from programming to anything else, well accepted. And
you guys ran an incredible
ways to get better.
Yeah.
Right.
The age group games was wonderful, this year. Like I really feel like it was very smooth, of course, from the perspective that I had. And so yeah, I'm really excited. How many athletes are you guys in Del Mar? How many athletes are competing overall, all divisions, the whole thing?
310.
310. Okay.
310. It's a significant drop in what Legends does. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It is less.
How many does Legends this year? How many competitors were there?
This year in December.
I'm sorry, I meant the age group games, but yeah, let's go to December.
Age group games, 520.
Okay. Age group games was 520. And you had 2 floors simultaneously going with 10 lanes, right?
No, sometimes 3, 1.
Oh, okay.
A little bit 4, and it was 15.
Does 520 include the teams?
The teens, the
Okay.
teenagers as well, not the team.
Not the team. That doesn't include the team competition.
It was 640, including the teams.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And then in December in Arizona, how many athletes will be going there?
Currently at 452.
So 310 is going to be a piece of cake.
Yeah, I was like, actually, that gives you almost a chance to put your bandwidth somewhere else.
No, it's gonna be great. It doesn't really change the bandwidth for me. The setup still needs to, or the logistics and the operations still need to have that hierarchy and have that structure well built out, which I've been spending a lot of time on that. But it's the ability to provide rest to the staff and the volunteers, schedule times for the spectators to, take a break, go to vendor village, come back, rather than just hammering heat after heat after heat. That gets old, and it doesn't have to be a 12-hour day. We can make it a 6 to 7 hour day. And so it becomes manageable. It doesn't change our venue costs and all that, but it does make it more, digestible for the spectators as well. Sitting there through so many heats of the same workout, because you have all the different age groups, it'll get old. So we want to make it, we want them to be there as long as they possibly can and have a good time and be entertained.
So how did, speaking of the athletes competing at Del Mar, I didn't want this all to be about Del Mar, but it's kind of the juice.
No, it's fine.
You're not going to tell me the dates and dates and location of the age group games, right?
No.
All right. Well,
No.
then we'll just continue on Del Mar. Fine.
Yeah.
So how did you guys how did that conversation happen? Did Dave reach out to you? Did you reach out to Dave? Was there like was there like a
application process?
Yeah, like what how did that happen? Because it sounded like Dave, they were just like, let's do it this way, and then people just popped up out of thin air, right? And so like how did that happen? And then yeah, we'll start there. Sorry.
Yeah, so the plans of having Masters in person semifinals is how that's been a long conversation going on now for months now. So once that was established and we were moving forward with, the planning around that, contracts and all that stuff, I had a call with CrossFit to talk over all the questions that I have, all the information and support that they're going to be giving us, the access to that support, and also kind of best practices that they're going to be, giving us in all the semifinals. And I told them that it's my goal and Legend's goal to eventually, and hopefully in 27, be considered for the elites as well. Then however it happened, and it was probably already happening, that there was an opportunity there that I didn't know about, that was presented to us, and we said, they were asked like, hey, do you want it? Be careful what you wish for, type thing. And we said, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a huge opportunity. And I think that it'll definitely help us raise our game in producing some huge improvements in our events. So,
and hey, hold on. We're going to show some love. Corey Leonard says, can confirm Legends in December is very well run. Looking forward to going back next month. So I'm just going to throw some love there, because there definitely is, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I love Legends, and just because I've done that so many times, and it's so fun. And even like the athletes and the coaches go to have they have a more chill time. And then when you go into the games, it's more stressful. Everyone's more stressed. And so, as it should be though, because, more is on the line. So it's then, taking the experience that we have from the past 2 Masters games, all the experience that we've had from Legends over the past, this is going to be 9 years. And then, combining that into something that we can produce at Del Mar that is very well run, programmed excellent, as it will be. And
get them.
Then people think about going back the next year, because, I don't want to be a one pump chump on this. I want to be there for a long time. I want to make huge improvements that everyone sees and everyone can, give some more feedback on, and that it's more positive. So,
yeah. As far as going to Del Mar, what are some of the things that or maybe just a thing, that you're most excited about with getting access to that venue, getting the green light to be a semifinal even earlier than you originally pitched? I mean, and of all places there, where, like you said, the pressure's on because the history is there. What excites you the most about that location, about all of it?
I mean, I think it's the experience that everyone is going to have, like walking into Del Mar. Like if you ever been there, like you park, it's open air, it's covered open air, right? So you park, you walk in, you'll walk through Vendor Village and all the food, and then you kind of like are immediately in the arena, and you see it from the south entrance, and you see this huge floor and all the stands and all the people, and it's just super exciting. And the access and the way the venue's set up is like the experience that people are going to have to like go use the restroom real quick, come back. Everything's real close and right there. And then the main floor, you're looking down on it. It's like kind of like set down lower than all the stands. Even like the row 1 is still probably 10 feet higher, 15 feet higher than what the athletes will be working out on. Most excited about recreating that experience and using I don't really feel any pressure. Well, I guess I do actually, because regionals was there, but it's using that experience to our benefit. Like I used to go to that. I've been in contact with the regional director of Del Mar that was in that era. And we've had many conversations. We're going to have more conversations.
Oh yeah, that's
picking
awesome.
his brain because he knows that place in and out. Like, yeah, I walked it twice now, but he ran excellent competitions there for years. So he's being extremely helpful. So it's not something that I'll have to go into or will have to go into this year with like, oh, we learned a lot and don't do that next year. It's like, no, like we know a bunch of stuff of what to do because the venue hasn't changed. It's the same footprint. You know, it's all of it's the same. So it's being able to use all that experience from another trusted individual and, you know, CrossFit that we can use to our benefit. And that's going to be huge for us.
I love it. Are there any details about the competition that is it, I'm assuming it's way too early to talk about anything in relation to like how many events you hope to have or anything like that?
I mean, how many events we hope to have, you just got to think like, you know, time, logistics. You'll see at least, you know, for the elites, we want at least 6. You know, I think that's a good number to guarantee. We will have a wide range of time domains. I've looked up, oh man, I did, you know, what I looked from what other semifinals did for the past, you know, years on time domains. I looked at what even CrossFit HQ has provided for masters online, you know, all the different time domains. And so, you know, we're going to have that big range in our competition in Del Mar. You got the page up there, how to qualify. That's what pretty much everyone is, you know, going off of right now. It's like quarterfinals
so far. Right. And is that just because
that's like the easy guarantee. I mean, I'm not sure what they're thinking, but to me, I'm like, cool. Like you go off of quarters, you start from the top, you work your way down and you continue that until your roster is full. Now, one thing I can say is that being so close to quarterfinals and allowing people enough time to travel, plan it, get there, that does stress me out. So I'm trying to think of other ways to, you know, get invites out from other competitions, other things in the space that could, you know, get them a preliminary invite, contingent on that they do the steps to become a athlete considered for a semifinal. You know, be like, hey, if you check this and check this, then you will be, based off of your years or your performance or your years prior, you will have, you know, this is a preliminary invite to Legends Del Mar.
Check this, such as like participation in the open and you know, finishing within a whatever percentile, whatever.
Exactly. How did you guys come up with the number of athletes competing and then the qualifying spots?
Number of athletes competing is going to be based off of first the rig size, lanes.
How many lanes are you running?
15 is our rig size. Then you go into qualifying with 15 being the number. And then I basically from there, it was just times 10 for the total roster and versus off of who qualifies. So you can see 3 men is 30 is the roster. 2 goes to 20, 1 goes to 10. Now we do have space to expand basically that 45 plus. So we may increase that roster if we feel like there's an appetite for it. So that 10 in the 70s could go to 15. Same with the 65s, 60s, 55s. They could go to 15. No problem in doing that because it doesn't increase heats, won't impact our schedule. You know, I would say same goes to the 45s and 50s going to 30. But do keep in mind the same number of people will qualify. That will not increase the number of qualifiers to the games. We can't edit that.
Yeah. And so this was this given to you by CrossFit?
No. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then for at this part here, is it the same? Like, could this go to 30?
Yes.
I feel like that number should be 30, and I feel like that shouldn't even be a question.
Yeah.
Like it should definitely be 30.
That was a thought on running heats of 10.
10, sure.
Obviously,
Okay.
if you're not going to do 15 and 5, running heats of 10. And also, historically, it's kind of like running heats of 10 has kind of been the number I've seen used for the elites, over and over. And it was 15 too many elite people out there at one time to watch, track, commentate on, etc.
Right. Is there yeah, that's definitely, I mean, the best question, right? Is the show appropriate for with 15 on the floor? And so there was 2 questions. So this one just came up. How much equipment support are you being given? We've talked about this in the past. But like, what does that look like? Because this is a brand new competition. It's not something that's been established, right? Or a brand new portion of your competition circuit that you guys now have and do. So like, what does that look like? And how early do you have to have the workouts done to get support from Rogue to get sent out there?
Yeah. So we don't have any restrictions on who we choose to work with on sponsorship of any sort.
Oh.
So I could use someone other than Rogue. I could use apparel from whoever I would want to. So that does open the door for other companies to be a part of it. Yeah. My current equipment sponsor is Rep Fitness. And that doesn't mean that I'm not entertaining and, looking for the best support from other companies. And my plan is to, by the end of this month, to have a preliminary, program done to where I then could know what equipment I need or a very close number to that, and then be able to supply that to, Rogue would be optimal. They have great support, and then kind of work from there. Now, Rep Fitness, again, they're my current equipment sponsor, so they would definitely receive the same, same document and see if they can do it. But yeah, we're looking for, similar, support that we receive from the Masters Games, and Rogue definitely can do it. Historically, that's what they've done, and I think that it'll keep the feel the same as what it was, back in the day as well. So we'll see.
Yeah. I like it.
Is there gonna be a stream? Sorry, I'm one more, and then is there going to be a stream? It's probably a really good question.
That's another thing that we're, as of right now, yes, we're absolutely gonna have a stream. And right now it's, who are we going to work with? What is the cost? How do we get that paid for? How do we get that set up? Who we going to choose to be commentating? And, what are the costs with Del Mar? I've already had conversations on cost of everything that it's going to be from them. And so now it's, working from there on what we're going to provide and what it's going to look like. Another big reason why I've been watching all the regional workouts, from Del Mar, what do they put on? What it look like? When do they switch from MC, plugged in MC commentary to actual commentators on the broadcast? There's a bunch of different options, and I'm open to talking to anybody that wants to be a part of it. I'll
put you in contact with Sevon. It's not far.
Sounds great. I would
make it happen.
I'll entertain anyone in the space that wants to be a part of it, because I think that the stream needs to be as best as it can be. Without spending $500,000.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's the thing, I always want to come back to, as much as we, of course, come on and then we have the conversation around the things that keep coming up in the space of the programming and whatever, right? And those are like that inevitable conversations to have. They're important conversations to have. I come back to, yet again, just like the lift that is doing an event of this caliber is obviously just massive. And so the heart for it, really, obviously, you guys are 9 years in with Legends. Like, you guys are deep into having that heart for it. And the fact that you're choosing to continue to lean in further and further and say, we want to take on more. I as someone who is a part of the ecosystem, who really enjoys getting to be a part of it, I really appreciate the effort from you and the effort from those that are trying to put together the cost-effective stream and just every different part of it. I mean, there's just so many roles that are essential to this stuff occurring. And so anyway, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a big lift, but for some reason I enjoy it and I want to get better at it. And this is a good shot to do that. So I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
It is.
CJ,
you guys coming out?
I'm just gonna guess that Claire will for sure be there in a official role, but I'll just make that a statement in my head. I'll manifest that to existence. But I am TBD.
Cool.
I am TBD. I'll know in the next couple of months what my spring summer schedule will be. So yeah.
I'll be available. It's already on my calendar.
Awesome.
She blocked it out for you already, Joe.
Nice.
Oh yeah, we didn't get
the more of that I can have happen, then solves. I'm like, cool, it's already taken care of. I already found someone for that. So
yeah, you stole her for Legends, by the way. I'm still super bitter about that.
I didn't know that you guys were friends at all. So
You didn't know that?
I didn't pick up on that. I'm not very intuitive. So
oh my gosh.
He's not actually that bitter, maybe a little bit bitter, but grand scheme, he's happy.
Yeah. This was the plan. So Legends is in a month, 5 weeks. I will be a Legends for sure. I will be, and then Claire will be there as well, obviously. And how's that looking? What does that look like? And
it's looking good, looking real good. We are having all of our all the meetings right now, with from volunteer lead to judge lead to athlete control to logistics. So every week I have now at least one meeting with all the big groups. I was just out there yesterday because there's another competition that shares the same venue that I do. They are just a month prior. They're called the Desert City Classic. They kick off on Friday.
Yep.
But we share some storage space. We share the same venue. So I was out there, did a walk of the space to get a better, I had some stuff to coordinate with a certain workout that I just need to get some more information on if we can actually pull it off. And so now that I have that, we can move forward with the current programming on that. And then also get my hands dirty and organize a storage unit that's been sitting for a year in the Arizona heat and dust.
How big is that storage unit?
Oh,
well, there's many of them. There's a few.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many are there?
I have 3. They have also 3 units. And it's packed. So
yeah, I bet.
That's another big thing, doesn't have anything to do with spectator athlete experience where you guys do, but it's just storage of everything, In the early days, it was cardboard boxes that would just fall apart. Then it went to, let's get some plastic boxes from Home Depot.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I'm sick of carrying 16, 20,
yeah, let's put
boxes.
These on.
Let's get these giant expensive ones that like Rogue uses, the U-line boxes that are, pallets, basically 4-sided pallets with a lid. So I'm excited about it. So far, it's the most exciting thing I've done this month is buy those and be able to put stuff in them. So that's my exciting life as an event organizer. But I was able to go out there, get rid of a bunch of stuff. New title sponsor goes with getting a new banner, getting new signage. So a lot of stuff that was there last year that isn't going to be used going forward, making new space, getting them access to the flooring because they use my flooring and I use their rig. And we share some other stuff as well. But going out there and, seeing it all look very familiar and similar. I like that. No surprises there. Talk to the venue staff. I got a new contact there and he's fantastic. So we're good to go. And, everything's rolling right along. And all the final approvals for signs, RX, and apparel printing and all that. Most of it happened today. It all gets fully buttoned up tomorrow so that we're going to be on time for shipments and all that. So yeah, it's getting all that out there, planning our movement releases and workout releases so that we can let the public know on what they should be working on.
Yeah.
Stuff like
when are those happening?
Movement releases officially start on, look at my calendar, 17th
Of November. Yep.
of November. Yes.
And what are those movement releases going to be?
The first one is going to be
So
ring muscle up.
Perfect.
First one's going to be ring muscle up plus a couple more. So I saved that one for you guys because I love you guys. It will be ring muscle up. So whoever listens, start training your ring muscle ups. I can say every age group will have the opportunity to perform the ring muscle up.
Cool.
And we will.
Do you have 70s are going to have opportunity to do a ring muscle up?
If they can. Yes, they will.
Jeez. I hope, man, dude, the day I see a 7-year-old female do a ring muscle up, CrossFit has made it. I think that's it's coming. I think we still got a little bit of time, but it's definitely coming.
Yeah. So the way we're going to do it is, release all the movements in about less than probably like 8 days. And then we will, and as those come out, we'll provide movement standards to the athletes via email. And then we'll just have a full document. I'm like, cool, you've seen it. Maybe you didn't see on Instagram, but here are all the movements released and the standards that you will be held to. Then around after Thanksgiving, we will do 2 Zoom calls with the athletes like I did last year, talk through the flow of the workouts, which means I'm not going to detail like you will do 3 rounds of this, this, and this, but I will detail like you will start the workout with box jumps. You will then move to the chest to bar pull-ups, then to your jump rope, and possibly repeat that or you're done. And so people they'll get the groupings of the workout of the movements, but we do get a lot of questions with standards at that point. And we get to answer those questions. So most of my time is answering
someone else
questions on that.
Yeah. You gotta farm that one out. That's delegation.
Well, both the head judges are on the calls, so they're pretty much answering those.
Okay.
We record that Zoom. We send it to all the athletes. I do another one just in case people missed it. We record that one, send it to the athletes. Then we, on the Monday of the event week, depending on the schedule, but we will send out the full doc of workouts, flow, standards, everything that the athletes need on that Monday. So by this week, it's going to be on Thursday is our athlete check-in and briefings. And hopefully that they're much like they were last year, which were about 30 minutes each one. It was smooth at that point because everyone had the information. All the athletes had plenty of opportunity to send their question in, get them answered. Then, because most times when we get to the venue, it's mostly international athletes that have questions at the venue. But everyone there is like, cool, we know what to do, and we're good to go. So it makes for a much smoother check-in and briefing process.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm super pumped. So how do you manage? I mean, you have 3 competitions in the next calendar year, and they're all at different stages, right? And like, what does that look like? Like, what is your calendar's got to be like? Do you separate each one of them? It's like, all right, here's this one, and this one.
Yeah, you've got too much going on throughout the whole calendar year.
I schedule things into my, I have if you look to my schedule, I have like many tasks to get done daily, like send this out, verify this, blah, blah, blah. And that covers like every category of the competitions. Then I schedule things right away. And if I schedule something with you, like through text, and if you don't receive like a calendar email confirmation, then like it has not been scheduled because I forgot. And so I'm like, please bug me, please bug me, please bug me. At this point, you can't bug me enough. So I'm pretty sure running Legends and then going into April, I'm going to be in the mode of you can't bug me enough type thing. So people just, all my leads are texting me constantly and making sure that I'm staying on time with stuff or not forgetting things. So it's busy. I do take certain days off. Like for instance, Mondays I'm done by 2:30 because I got to pick up my kids and then get my boy to baseball practice. Thursdays, same thing. Gymnastics for my daughter. Saturday and Sunday are for family. And I just bust my ass all the other hours of the day.
Like it.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
just doing that and sticking to the calendar. Otherwise, yeah, stuff piles up and it sucks.
What's the most stressful one right now? Like right now today?
Del Mar. Well, for different reasons, I would say Del Mar and the Masters games. Those two. If you would ask me 2 days ago, it would have been Legends December because there was a couple things I'm like, what the F happened? And I fixed them. So we're good now.
That's good.
So it's no longer Legends. Now it's Del Mar for getting the process started with the team members who I want to select for those positions, getting them the information that they need so they can start the work, to produce an excellent competition. Everything we talked about, from programming to reaching out to the other programmers and all that stuff, I need to start that process. I can't just forget about it, because if I don't get this done by end of November, then I go into Legends mode, and then you're not going to hear from me till end of December. And then all of a sudden it's January 1 and I lost 30 days. So, then, after Legends is basically Christmas. And so holiday season, a lot of people aren't responsive. So it's making sure I get as much done for Legends Del Mar this month. But then also we have a lot of critical things to execute so that the Masters games, the age group games, can, be where we want to be when we want it, when we want it to be. And that needs to happen now.
Which is when? When is it?
Which is going to be announced very soon, hopefully. So
there you go.
It's so for different reasons, it's those two events right now. And
are the age group games still between two places?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, still between. It's not solidified yet, so I could say that. And so we have hopes and dreams for what we want to produce, and we have our hey, this is what we want. What do we have to do to get that? And then it's all right, well, we can't just be like, cool, well, let's just make it happen because we need to fully vet everything that needs to be considered. Then cool, that's impossible. What's this? What's this? What's this? And it doesn't rhyme with smart cow.
It does in my head, by the way, and I assume it does in yours. And just so everyone is clear, the ultimate and number one goal, and I hope it's what it is to be on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whenever the fuck the games is in around SAP Center sometime in late July. Would just be my.
That'd be pretty cool. Man,
that's
sounds
what
amazing to me. So,
Dave, how did this get again? I didn't even realize.
So we want to get that out as soon as we can. So there are multiple people bugging all the necessary people for that information so that we can get it done. And no one on our end, on our team, anything, CrossFit side, our side, other, the other, divisional games, and even I would say the venues are sitting on their ass. So we're all trying to get it done.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%. I imagine it's a full tilt. So when was it decided? There's a question. When did you guys find out you were getting Del Mar and doing that?
Oh, I've known for a few months.
Okay. So it's been a while.
Maybe it's too risky, but I booked Del Mar before I even officially got the contract. So I'm like, I need it now. And so I went down there, talked to him. I'm like, let's do it. When can I cancel this? But I was like, hey, this is pretty much a 99%. So what do I need to do? And so I got that taken care of.
So you
within a couple of days.
You knew you were going to potentially get a semifinal, and you chose Del Mar.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I drove down there because I'm like, I live in San Diego.
Hell yeah.
I wanted to be here 5 years ago. It's perfect. So I literally drove down 2 days later.
That's awesome.
No, it was
That
a
is
week later
awesome.
because they had the fair going on or something. Like I couldn't get the guys on. They had this massive fair, so like I basically got in as soon as I can. And yeah, it's been a while now. So I've been waiting for this day to that day to come where it was announced.
Nice.
I think it's gonna be great. I think the public loves it. I mean, based off of like
Everyone
Yes.
loves it.
social
People are
media,
stoked.
just if you look at, we're all part of the same team, right? But all the semifinals, like
Mhm.
just the engagement on that post, and it was very simple. It was extremely high, and
Mhm.
it was a lot of like love for Del Mar and just the area and the history. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yep. It's gonna be super cool.
I've never been, so it's going to be all new for me.
It's like the
I know
only
you both have, but I
no,
have
it's the only American regional that I've never been to. I went to
Oh,
all of them.
oh, okay.
Because I was selling Compex at the time, and so they would send me to all of like I went like every weekend,
Uh-huh.
when it was like weekend after weekend after weekend.
Sure.
But I
Yeah.
never went to Del Mar.
Dang. Now I really want you to be able to go.
I know.
Hope so.
Cool.
We'll know soon enough.
Yeah, soon enough. All right. I mean, I think that's it. I'm
Yeah.
super excited.
I'm done hammering you with questions.
Yeah, I'm excited for a month. I'm
Sounds good,
excited for
guys.
Legends. I'm excited for Tempe. I'm excited for SAP Center or Columbus, which I assume are the two. And I'm unbelievably excited for Del Mar. I'm pumped that Legends is like becoming not just age group. Like you guys, no matter what, but like putting the brand as like now programming and doing an elite and doing the age group is just like another way that we're like bringing it back together. You know what I mean? Right. And so I think that's just like another step in the right direction of bringing back Madison vibes and all of it in one place, and more live events and more competition and more momentum to the sport and more momentum to the space and all of those things. And so I'm stoked.
Yeah, thank you. It's gonna be awesome. I think 2026 is gonna be a absolutely stellar year for CrossFit and
Totally.
everyone involved. So I am very excited for this year to come.
Yeah, you can tell because all the fakes are rolling their way back in. It's just amazing. Everyone who just really big problems with CrossFit, just 2024 was hard and I need space, and now they're just like talking about CrossFit again. Go fucking figure.
Yeah,
2024 was hard.
It was hard.
Yeah.
And
sure.
yes, everyone is returning.
Yep.
Yeah. And we just, I don't know. It's I cannot wait to see that as well, even from like a spectator attendance perspective, from every level. But the name CrossFit is certainly trending in a really beautiful direction. It seems this year. So it's pretty exciting.
I agree.
All right. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for listening, everyone that tuned in. Keep the notifications on. We'll definitely have Joe and Bob on soon, either heading into Legends. We'll be there podcasting and coaching at Legends Comp in December. And we'll be in some capacity, probably at all of them in some role or whatever. And so I'm stoked for the future. So thanks, Joe.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Yep.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. We'll see you guys soon.
Okay.
Me and Claire will be back Friday morning.
Yep.
Peace.
Yep.